Well, folks, here in western Pennsylvania, one time a year, Groundhog Day, we depend on a rodent named Phil to predict the weather. He has a 40% accuracy. This year, he did not see his shadow, so you know what that means. Spring is coming early, so that being said, Phil, that little crazy guy, we're going to fire up the dump truck and backhoe and haul in a bunch of aggregate today to the farm property. Stay tuned. Today we're going to be using this 2002 LB110. She's a little rough. She's sat outside most of her life. Unfortunately, we didn't have buildings back when we bought this, but the quick story behind this is we went to a Ritchie Brothers auction and picked this thing up for like $40,000 or $50,000. And it only had about 5 hours on it. A company went out of business and was at auction. She looks rough, but she got a good heart. So we'll get this thing warmed up. Well, I spoke too soon. She doesn't want to fire. Did this yesterday, actually. It's almost something like, it's brand new batteries in it. Something going on with the ignition, it being cold out. So we'll dive into this. Just like always, the day never goes easy. Well, the backhoe's dead. Seems like the ignition's bad. So we're gonna try this beast. 1997 New Holland 865. Same situation. Good-hearted machine. Sat outside most of his life, unfortunately. But pretty dependable, hopefully. Fire in the hole. Oh my God. What is going on today? I might just go home, go back to bed. All my stuff up the farm starts. This is crazy. 2017 Western Star. See what she does. It's not even that cold. It's like 27 degrees. Well, at least we're getting some stuff running here. Let this warm up and get on the road.
1 hour later.
So we're back in business. Ended up being the starter. Had to tap it with a rod. So we'll get this tore off here pretty soon and get it rebuilt.
So when I'm loading these machines, I always put them in first gear, especially with a machine this old. I'm gonna try to load one side to the other. This is a low side tri-axle dump truck, so it's not as high as the conventional ones you see going down the highway hauling bulk material. So what we're loading up here is reclaimed asphalt. I've done a lot of videos in the past where we buy it, sometimes we barter for it, and we stockpile down there at the shop. With us getting ready to start this project, hopefully building this house here in 2024, trying to get a dry area for the contractors to work and keep the material out of the mud. So there's a lot of talk right now on YouTube, different channels. Mike Morgan and Brad Farwer the Furnace talking about CDL requirements and stuff like that. This truck here I'm loading is a tri-axle, so it's required to have a Class B CDL license. I have a Class A, because I haul equipment on jobs and stuff like that, but it's just a little bit more of an endorsement to have a Class A. It's because you're hauling a trailer with weight and stuff like this. But this truck here, I believe, can haul a gross of 70. Let's call it 74,000 pounds. That's the total weight capacity with the truck and the material in it. So minus the weigh-ins scale of the truck, then I believe legally I can haul about 23.5 ton of material. I'm not going to load it up that much because we're hauling it into the farm property. And unfortunately, it's still really soft up there, so you're better off taking a couple short loads instead of flipping a truck over or burying it and breaking an axle. Here in the state of Pennsylvania now, I don't believe you can just go to the DMV and take a test anymore. I got my CDL license back in 2005. I drove illegally for about 4 or 5 years, not really understanding the consequences if something happened or you got caught. But it's a $5,000 fine if you get caught driving one of these trucks without the proper licensing, and you have to get a physical card. Every 2 years I have to go and get a physical by an approved DOT doctor, make sure that you're healthy enough to drive something like this. They don't want you to get behind the wheel and taking a stroke or being a diabetic, going to diabetic coma or something like that. So it's a pretty serious thing now. You know, it's a pain that you're having to go through all those credentials to become a CDL truck driver, but my opinion is it's for the best, because I drive almost every day for a living in non-CDL vehicles, but I see a lot of stuff on the road, and I don't know how many times I've seen accidents in tractor trailers. I've walked up on trucks that have been rolled over on 79. There's a bad section through the S-bends. The wheels were still spinning, and you know, it's this. Most of it comes from inexperience. So them having a more strict process of getting a CDL makes me feel a little bit more relieved about my family being out on the road with tractor trailers, because you don't get second chances when you get in a wreck with a tractor trailer. Like I said, this truck here, max capacity is somewhere around 74,000 pounds. Your standard half-ton pickup truck, I believe, weighs like 7,000 pounds. So do the math. It's not going to be much left of your vehicle if you get in a bad accident with one of these trucks. All right, we got that loaded up. We'll put this tarp over top so stuff doesn't fly out going down the road. And for safety precautions, I always just walk around the truck, just make sure everything's all right. And I normally throw one of these chains on just as a safety precaution. In case this fails here, all this stuff will fall to the back of the truck. So better be safe than sorry. People ask, why do you do that? Because it's happened before. Over 20 years, you've had a lot of things happen, crazy stuff. So all the tires seem good. We're gonna get rolling here. Well, if you've never been in a tractor trailer or know what it's like, today's your lucky day. It's kind of like a car, but you got this big steering wheel for control and lots of buttons. So let's get rolling here. That releases the brakes.
can see, it's a little soft. So in cases like this, started feeling the truck leaning a little bit. You just got to know your limits. And I dropped the tag down, so when we dump this, it gives us some stability, so don't topple over. It's pretty crazy how easy they'll flip over. So if you ever haul with a triaxle, you got to pay attention to this stuff. All right, I hauled in 5 triaxle loads of reclaim asphalt. There's currently 3 piles here, and then I smoothed out 2 of them, trying to get some good bedding here for the truck. It's February, so it's extremely muddy. We just had a really deep frost, so things are still unfreezing. You can see ground's a little frosty here, but we did sign a contract for a house to be built over there. Weather permitting and permits permitting. It's been a process, to say the least, but this is what we got going on here. And as soon as we keep moving forward with everything, they're expected to break ground somewhere at the end of March into April. All right, guys, that's all we have for you today. I'm going to keep hauling triaxle loads of reclaim in. I don't know how many times you could show someone loading and dumping a truck. So that concludes today's video. Make sure you hit that bell notification so you can see what's coming up next. Like I said, we're in a permit processing of doing a house. We did sign a contract, so, you know, weather permitting, we got some exciting things coming here in the near future. So take care, and we'll see you on the next one.